Hello, good day again. Uh, we are now in our module 2, which is all about objects. But all the topics discussed in module 1 can also be applied here in objects that we need to create in accomplishing practice task, which is also a task number 1. So, uh, it says that we need to fill in a catalog with test data. So here, we're going to create a catalog. So this task create a common form. So we need to create our own common form, but it says that within empty catalog product. So meaning this common form should be created within the catalog products. And take note that the catalog products must be an empty value. So no records can be found in catalog products so that we can enable filling catalog with our test data. So we need also to create our uh, button and input box so that we can create our handler that should allow our users to specify number of items. So for example, the user wants to create test data with 5 or 10 or 20. So whatever specified by the users to create test data. And then so when the button was clicked, so it must create or products or add products. It depends on the amount specified by the users. So in adding products, it should have the following fields as described here. No, we have the description with the value of test product hashtag and a code with a sequence number. So when we say sequence, it should start with number one, then followed by number two, three, four, five, and so on. Depends on the number specified by our users. So we also have field default discount, which is string with the value no discount, origin string also with the value domestic, and field quality with a type string with the value standard. That is the requirement for this problem. Then it also asks you to prepare a step-by-step guide on how to complete the task. So start with creating a catalog products and finishing with the demonstration of added products. So it says here demonstration. So maybe you need to prepare a video presentation that can showcase the step on how you complete the task. So it says here that you must start with showing, creating catalog products, and then demonstrate adding products on the user side. Okay, so after creating it, you must put it in point DT and with your instruction files into RR or archive, and then submit the archive to the platform or send it to platform at 1c.com. Okay, so let us visualize it using a 1C Enterprise platform. So let us first create our catalog. After so create your catalog products. So after creating your catalog products, we must create a common form within the empty catalog products. So meaning we need to go to form and then add your own generic form. So add and then just create a generic form and then name it as data. So it will create like this one. So we can now fill in this test data form. No, so how come that it has this input field and then the button? So from Module 2, day 1 to day 3, no, it discuss about how to create these elements in this generic form. So, of course, we have here the attributes. So, we need the attributes for this input box. So, you have to add your uh, uh, number of items so that the user can use it to input the desired number of items to be created for our test data. And then, of course, how do I put this create product button? So you go to commands and then create your own command for this task. So that is how we are going to create this. Then after creating this form, we need to activate it. No, if you still remember the topic or the lesson, you must go to this configuration with the yellow icon, circle icon, and then right click and then go to home page. And then don't forget to set the homepage template to single column, and then you add the generic form. So you add the generic form, which is under products form, and then this one, the test data, so that it will appear here. So when you start running this solution in one's enterprise platform for the user side, the user can see that the user can see this form. Okay, of course, the code should not be shown to you because that is your task to complete this problem. Okay, so let us run this under 1C Enterprise. Okay, so this will be the phase of our solution in 1C Enterprise or under user side. So let's go back with the problem. So it says here that it must be an empty catalog product, so no other data must input in our products so that we can use this create product for our test data. So it is already empty. So the handler should allow users to specify number of items. So the user can specify number of items here. So I put in my code when I click create product, and when this is zero, it has a message. Please specify number of items to be created. But this is not required in the given problem. This is optional if you want to do it. So if the user specify 5 items to be created as our test data, when the user click the create product, now remember our products catalog must be empty. So let us now click this button if it is possible to create uh, test data with 5 items specified by the user. So I click this and then it will show a message 5 items created successfully in product catalogs. So let us check if this really works. Let us go to our products. So that's it. So let us check if we meet the requirement for the field. So it mentions here that the description field should have this test product hashtag. So we have this value, and for our code, it must be a sequence number. So it is a sequence number starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Then the default discount, which is a string, is no discount. And then for the origin, we have domestic, and quality is standard. So we met the required fields and value. Okay. So the next task is for you to prepare a step-by-step guide on how to complete this task. Start with creating a catalog products and then finish with the demonstration of adding products. Okay, so that's it. Thank you.
Build your future, be a leader. Your best skills matter. Come on, you can be a winner. Come on.
Okay, so good day. So I'm going to explain what would be the practice task number one. So it says here that we need to find a middle value out of three numbers. So we need to provide three numbers, and then we're going to solve the task using our program code. So you need to get three numbers in order to identify the middle one. So using the logic greater than one and less than the other, of course. So to do that. And then we're going to use the if, then else if, and else code in our uh, program. So take note, you can explicitly define numbers in code like number 1 is equals to 5, number 2 is equals to 4, and so on. So it means you do not need to create forms for users to enter the number. So it asks you to submit only your code using a text file. So what should be the output of this given problem in task number one? So it should be look like this. So I provided the value of the given number one, number two, and number three, which is 10, 20, and 13. So obviously the middle number is 13. It should be number three, which is equals to 30. So it is how our program should be look like. So if you have questions about this problem, so you can chat me directly or PM me, or you can uh, comment in our FB page. Thank you. Okay, so for day 2, task 2, it says that we need to check if number A is divisible by number B. So explicitly, we can define the two whole numbers in our code. For example, we use A as 15 and B as 4. So we need to check if A is divisible by B, and then it displays the respective message and resulting whole number, which is mandatory, and also the fractional part if any. So the fractional part only display if A is not divisible by B. So comments, we need to use the method message to display the message, and then place in parentheses either a string name in double quotes or the variable name. So again, we need to submit it or our code in a text file only. So here's what it should look like in our program code. It should be output like this, no? So A is equals to 16, for example, that is uh, 16, and B is 4. So the resulting is, of course, A is divisible by B since the result is equals to 4. So when we divide 16 by 4, that is equals to 4. But the other way around, if it is not divisible, so if it is not divisible by A or okay, if A is not divisible by B, no? So the result is equals to 3.75. The whole number also displayed and the fractional part. So as a requirement here, the whole number is mandatory. So a fractional part only display if there is any. So of course, it will display if A is not divisible by B. Okay, so for task number 3, it says here that we need to calculate value for function of y equals to fx. So the given is y equals to fx, and then we need to use the formula y equals to 2x minus 10 if x is greater than 0. or y is equals to 0 if our x is equals to 0. And the other one is y equals to 2 times absolute value of x minus 1 if x is less than 0. So having uh, that three conditional statement. It depends on the value of our x. Then we need to calculate the function value for a specific value of x. So it is allowed to set or modify the value of x right within our module, or meaning in our code. So for example, we set our x as x is equals to 7. No? Then we need to display the result of the calculation on the user screen. So again, we need to submit our code using a text file. So our output should be look like this one. No? So I specify or in display also the value of x, which is 0, and then I display also the uh, function to follow by our code, which is y equals to function of x, and then the conditional statement if the value of x is 0 or greater than 0 or less than 0, the formula should also display which the result y equals to 0, because we set our x as equals to 0. So it says in the given problem that if x is equals to 0, so the formula is y equals to 0. So therefore, our y is equals to 0. That is our result. The other way around, so the other way around, if our x is greater than 0, so I set the value of x as 1, so it use the formula. If x is greater than 0, the formula is y equals to 2x minus 10. So therefore, our y is equals to negative 8. Why? Because if we are going to replace x, or the value of x, which is 1, that is 2 times 1 equals to 2, minus 10, that is equals to negative 8. And that is if x is greater than 0. And the other one, if we set our x less than 0, so which is negative 1, that is the value. It says if x is less than 0, the formula should be y is equals to 2 times absolute value of x minus 1. So therefore, our y is equals to 1, because negative 1, the absolute value, whether it is a negative or positive, uh, it is the same distance between the number lines, so which is 1. So we need to multiply 2 by 1, that is 2, and then we need to less 1, that is y equals to 1. So that is how this given problem works for task number 3. So that's it. Okay, so for module 1, day 2, task 4, the given problem is about exponentiation. So we need to create two variables. As stated, we need a two-digit number and exponent. So we need to assign whole numbers to the two attributes. Then we need to apply the exponent to the two-digit number and then display the result on the screen. The message should also contain a comment if the resulting value exceeds 10,000. So take note, do not use the built-in exponent functions in 1C Enterprise. So again, we need to submit our code in a text file. So our output for this given problem in task 4 should be look like this one. So in my case, I output the two-digit number variable with a value of 10 and the exponent with a value of 3. So if we're going to write it in mathematical sentence, that is 10 raised to the third power. So meaning we need to multiply the base 10 three times to itself. So that is 10 times 10 is 100 times 10, that is the result is 1000. So the other requirement is to so the other requirements is to display a resulting value that exceeds 10,000 if in that case, no, for example we have this two digit number with a value of 10 and our exponent is 5. So meaning we need to multiply the base 10 to itself 5 times. So that is 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. The result is 100,000. So another requirement is to display this resulting value exceeds 10,000 because 10 raised to the fifth power, the result is 100,000. Okay, so for the last task in Module 1 Day 2 Task 5, the given problem is to multiply numbers using a loop. No? So we're going to use a loop code. So we need to write a piece of program code to multiply A and B without applying or using the multiplication operation in one's enterprise. No? Then we need to use any natural numbers for A and B. So take note, you can explicitly define the number right within the module or your code. No? So you need to submit your code again in a text file. So what should look like the output of this task number 5? No? So it should output similar like this. No? We need to write the product of 2 and 5 is 10. Or if you're going to use uh, 3 and 5, so the product of 3 and 5 is 15. So that is how we're to output as an example the product of two given numbers A and B using a loop and not the multiplication operation directly in 1Z enterprise mode.
Build your future, be a leader. Be your best skills matter.